Today I'm going to be going over 10 fragrance clones that make the original completely obsolete. If you see the hype around the original and you're feeling like you're missing out, you don't have to spend that much money. You can pick up any of these 10 clones and they will do the job perfectly for you. Now, some of these clones are going to be providing a greater savings than others. And what I mean by that is some of the originals are around $100, which is still pretty expensive. And some of the originals can also be up over $200-300 in this video. And so the span is going to vary from each one that we talk about. But one thing will remain consistent. All of these clones are going to be saving you a lot of money in the long haul. I mean, I can't even imagine how much it would be to go through this 10 and buy all of the real deals, the originals. It would cost you a ton of money. Now, all of these clones are ones that you've probably heard me talk about before on the channel for the most part. There's a good reason behind that. It's because these are fantastic. And I have the originals of all of these. I obviously have all of the clones. They get my stamp of approval. If I didn't have the original, I would be perfectly happy with all of these. And so I'll drop some links to you down below in the video description. Now, generally, when it comes to picking up clones, Fragrance Buy is going to be the best place to shop. It's not an endorsement. They're not sponsoring this. They're not telling me or asking me to say that. It's the truth. It's where I purchased most of the clones from. And so if you want to pick any of these up, most of those links probably will take you over there. If any of these are out of stock at the time of me shooting this, or uploading this rather, and you want to be notified when they do come back, hit the first link down below, sign up to my mailing list, or you can send a text message to the number down below, sign up for my SMS list as well. You'll get a notification at one or both of those places, whichever you choose. All right, let's get it kicked off with Barouge Perle d'Or. Kind of an odd size bottle. I think it's 85 ml, and this is a clone of Parfums de Marly Carlisle, which that one is up over the $200+ mark on discounters when it's in stock at a discounted price. Retail, I believe, is north of $300, so very expensive stuff regardless. Perle d'Or is one that you can get for around $60, I believe is where this one sits. $60, 85 ml, great savings, and it is one of the best Carlisle clones on the market. It is so good, so strong, and this makes the original obsolete. And this is one of those deals where you don't even really need to go out and search for a bunch of other clones as well of Carlisle. You can just kind of buy one and be done because it's going to offer everything that you're looking for if you are trying to get close to that PDM. Next up, we have one that comes in right at about $20 to $22 generally. It's LATTAFA ASAD, which is a clone of DETOUR Sauvage Elixir. Now, Sauvage Elixir, anywhere from, as low as I've seen like 140 to up to 160, 165, and that's for the smaller size bottle. The 100 ml bottles are right around 200, maybe a touch over at discounters. So that one is very expensive as well, and that's a designer scent. So LATTAFA here coming in at $20, basically a cheapy price. You can get this for just about next to nothing, which is a crazy, crazy good deal, especially when you factor in how good this one really is. The quality is great, performance is great. It is extremely close to Sauvage Elixir. It is a fantastic clone, and it's definitely one you should check out. Maybe you have Elixir already, but each time you spray it, you just feel a little bit sad because you're burning through it because it is expensive. Don't have to worry about that here. You can spray this one on heavily. You can wear it every single day and you're not going to break the bank. Now this next one is kind of a hybrid situation a little bit. It's AFNAN Supremacy Not Only Intense, which is kind of like a mixture of Nishane Hasavat and Aventus. Leans more so towards the Nishane direction, but you can kind of look at it both ways, I guess. So what's the difference? Well, Nishane Hasavat focuses heavily on oak moss in addition to a very syrupy sweet pineapple. For me, I consider Creed Aventus a summertime scent. It's actually one that I wear in summertime the most. That's my favorite time of year to wear it, when it's warm outside, when it's hot outside. I love Aventus in the summer. Fruity, bright, fresh, with a little bit of that birchy woodiness. Nishane Hasavat is one that I've worn in the summer before and instantly regretted it, and I haven't done it since. It's been years. I learned my lesson. I will never wear that stuff in the summer again. Too strong. So this one does lean further in that direction here. Sweeter, heavier oak moss woods. very syrupy. And honestly, this one I think is around $57, maybe $60. It is an extrait concentration, kind of like Hasavat is. 100 ml bottle here. It's a great value. We'll go with another Parfums de Marly clone. This one is $35, 100 ml, give or take. HARAMAIN DETOUR Noir, and this is a clone of Layton, which is by far their #1 bestseller, the one that gets the most amount of hype, and kind of the one that put PDM on the map in terms of just the sheer amount of hype. You know, it's kind of the one everyone starts with. And again, when it comes to PDMs, they're getting harder to get at discount prices. They're on discounters, but they're not discounted. It's very strange. Fragrance By is the only discounter that will still get them in and offer them below retail. But of course, they sell out quickly. And so, you know, when they do come in, they're $170, but retail is north of $200, $250, or whatever it is. Getting hard to find for a good price. But this one here offers a solution to that problem. It's a fantastic clone. Another one of my favorite clones just because of how close it is and the value that it provides. Okay, next up we have one of the many YSL Tuxedo clones. There's a lot you can choose from. This one is AFNAN TURATHI Brown. Another one of my favorites is Alhambra the Tux. That one usually comes in at about $20, but it is often out of stock, a little bit tricky to get. This is one that you can get for, I want to say, $40-ish, and it's pretty much in stock on most of your favorite discounters. And yeah, it's a clone of YSL Tuxedo. This DNA is fantastic. It's so unique. It may sound kind of funny when there's a bunch of clones of it, but that DNA itself, it did start with Yves Saint Laurent. They did kind of, at least as far as I'm aware of, I don't think they really borrowed that from anywhere else. It's quite an original to me, and so that DNA is really something unique in and of itself. But it's expensive, and so I'm okay with the fact that there are clones out there because it allows more people to get their hands on this one and smell it and wear it. You can go with Rochas Mustache Eau de Parfum as well, but I think when it comes to closeness, the Tux and or TURATHI Brown would be kind of the better options for getting as accurate as you can. I like Mustache because it actually varies just a little bit, so it all depends on what you're looking for. Okay, next up, we have a clone of Y Eau de Parfum. It's LATTAFA FAKHAR Eau de Parfum. $20, right around there, so another one that is super affordable. And yeah, you know, the downside with some of these is that the presentations are nowhere near as aesthetically pleasing as the originals, but that's kind of a price you pay. I don't think it's a huge deal, but I can see where that is kind of an issue for some. Now, there's also another LATTAFA, it's called Yeah Eau de Parfum. It's harder to get at discounters right now, so that's kind of why I'm featuring this. You could go with either one though. And Yeah Eau de Parfum also clones the bottle of YEDP, so that's a nice option if you're trying to go for bottle presentation. But when it comes to just getting one that's cheap and one that you can get on pretty much every discounter, this is a great one to go for. Nails that apple, sage, amber wood, lavender, you know, the sweetness, the aromatics, the kind of blue fragrance, ambroxany tinge. It's got all of that going on for a dirt cheap price. Okay, we're going to go with EMIR VOUX Elegante. This one is by Paris Corner, and this is a clone of Xerjoff Naxos. There's a few inspirations out there. This is one that is kind of, you know, going in a similar style with the bottle. You get that frosted glass, gold accents. It's very heavy, thick glass, you know, kind of, you know, nodding to it a little bit. But they're also doing a great job at really honing in on the scent. You get that dusty kind of tobacco, honey, tonka mixture. It's sweet, powdery, but a little bit syrupy at the same time. You kind of get a few different varieties here with this one and how it's delivered to you, and I really like it for that reason. The Naxos itself is an unbeatable scent. It's beautiful. The DNA is great, but this one for the price makes it really hard to turn up. And, you know, Naxos, I think retail $250. You can get it on discounters for $160, $170. There's a big difference in price. If I didn't mention price, I want to say this one falls around mid $30 range, so it's a great purchase. Okay, let's go with ARMAF LEGASI up next. It's an eau de parfum, and it is a clone of Chanel Platinum Egoiste. Platinum Egoiste is a more modernized, refined barbershop or aromatic fougere style scent. Even though it's been out for so many years, it smells like it's still new or newish. It's a new, again, modern kind of interpretation of a DNA that has been around for so many years at this point. You know, a lot of the main gripe with barbershop scents is that they do smell old. Maybe it might remind you of something that your dad or your grandpa would wear or has worn. But Platinum Egoist is something that is kind of a refreshing, different take, and that's why I love that stuff so much. You know, you do have to pay up for it. It's up over $100 even on discounters. This is, I think, in the mid $20 range, low 30s. It's a really, really good clone, and it's one that you don't hear too much about, but it's awesome stuff. Next up, we have Al Haramain Amber Oud Carbon Edition. Now, this is going to be a clone of Creed's Green Irish Tweed. And again, there's a few options out there. There's some from Al Haramain besides this one. Like, I think it's Laventure Night or something. One thing I will say about these Amber Ouds is they are more premium clones overall. They're a little bit more expensive, but it's not just, oh, we're marking them up and giving you the same product. There are actually differences between these clones, and they have some others within this Amber Oud line that really step it up. There's also something like ARMAF Très Nuit, which is right around $20. It's a great clone as well. There's options for you. Even with clones, there are different budgets and everything like that, different price points that you can adhere to. This is one you can pay up a little bit more for, but you're still getting a better product and more of a premium clone product, which is what I love about this Amber Oud line. But again, you have choices. Regardless of that, it's still considerably more affordable than Green Irish Tweed itself, which is, you know, 200 plus on discounters, low mid 200s. For 100 mil, this is, I think, in the $40-ish range. And bottle size, it's a pretty big size bottle. I'm not seeing any sticker anywhere, which is a little bit weird, but I think it's 100 mil. Might even be a 120, I can't really tell, but considerable amount of scent here for a price that is much lower than the real deal. And also, when it comes to Creeds, their retail prices are more than double of what they go for on discounters. So if you are going to buy a Creed, don't buy it at retail. And we're going to finish this one off with Fragrance World Supreme L'Homme Extreme, which is an eau de parfum. And I'm sure you can guess what that is a clone of. I've already done a video on this anyway, but if you missed that video, this is a clone of Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Extreme. And this one finally hit Fragrance Buy. So I bought mine off of eBay before I could get it on really any other discounter. And so I did my videos anyway just to kind of get the word out there. And I said as soon as these start showing up, like on a Fragrance Buy or a discounter where more people feel more comfortable with purchasing from, I would notify you. And so I did send out a text and an email to my lists and stuff like that. You probably got that if you're subscribed already, but if you're just now watching this video, this is one you can get now, and it's like 37 bucks. And it really is a killer clone of Ideal Extreme. Now, at one point, Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Extreme was very hard to get. Couldn't find it here in the US and Canada. Very tough. Now it's kind of stabilized and you can get it on a lot of the big discounters. FragBuy, Fragrance Net, Joma Shop, I think they all have them in stock right now. So if you want the real deal, you can get it. Take your pick. They're all around $100, right around in that range. So it's not so much the exclusivity factor anymore that's attractive. Now it's the price of this one. Before, this was so nice because you can just get your hands on the DNA finally. But again, now that that one is more readily available, at least for a limited time right now, this is one you can still pick up and save a lot of money. You can buy a couple bottles for the price of one Guerlain. And they also have Supreme L'Homme EDP, which is a clone of L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. I don't know if that one's in stock on FragBuy yet, but it is one that is available out there if you want to do some searching around. This is a great clone that really gets that plum, almond, tobacco combination down. Smells beautiful. This one's impressive. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. 10 fragrance clones that make the originals completely obsolete. If you see the hype, you don't want to spend the money, just go for any of these 10 and they will set you in the right direction. And again, even if you have some of the originals, the real deals, you can still pick these up and kind of use it as a way to save the real one for special occasions, or just use the clones for daily wears, signature scents, and just kind of ultimately take it a little bit easier on your wallet. I think some of these clones honestly could be a marriage saver, so it's something to keep in mind. Links will be down below to these. Deals will be going out to my mailing list and my SMS texting list as well. The link is down below. The number's down below. If you want to opt into the text list, just send any text to the number and you will be signed up and entered, and you'll get a text back confirming that you're added to the list. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.